Thanks for coming to CoinGraph Market. Here is where we change your crypto journey. Are you sick of keeping an eye on the market all the time? With our $1,000 to $100,000 trading challenge, you can trade like a pro without having to sit at your computer all day. It only costs $79 a month. If you subscribe today, Satoshi Swiss will instantly copy my trades and help you get better at crypto. Let's take over the world of crypto together. To join, click on the first link in the description below. Now let's get to the movie. It's been a long time since we talked about the Ethereum free pass on this channel. But today we got a bombshell that shows something hidden beneath the Ethereum base that I don't think anyone knew about. In this video, we'll talk about the details of that shock and any possible effects it might have on Ethereum in the future. This really shocked me. Make sure you watch the whole video to see that. We will also talk about Elizabeth Warren's new plan against cryptocurrency. Please excuse the interruption. We recently learned something shocking that makes us wonder what she has been doing. In this movie, I want to look at her chances of actually getting the bill passed. In the future, this could have a big effect on cryptocurrencies in the US. To break down a common story we hear a lot in the XRP community, I want to start this movie with an interesting paper. XRP will also never be owned by banks. Ladies and gentlemen, I hear this all the time. A lot of people are upset that banks won't use XRP. But I found this tweet from Cash earlier today, and I think it's really cool. Here is a list of all the XRP that the bank currently owns. BBIS also says that this is not where it thinks banks would keep their XRP reserves. That's where the XRP that banks already have is stored. Even though these aren't very big holdings, it's a common myth that banks would never keep XRP or other cryptocurrencies. But XRP is tied for third place as the most held cryptocurrency in the world right now. Gentlemen, the main reason I'm giving you this is to bust the myth that banks will never hold these coins. These digital coins that they already have. The Bank of International Settlements, or BIS, is, in fact, this source. It's impossible not to believe this. We are learning that these institutions want to hold on to these assets, even in the very early stages, before they are widely used and formally regulated. People, I talk about how early I think we really are on this channel. To put it another way, Bitcoin is like being in the 1980s or 1990s of the internet age. In this case, it seems like banks already want to hold these coins directly, like they did in the Wild West. In other words, very early on. Guys, how many times have you heard that banks will never use or keep XRP? The story as it stands is completely false according to this paper. It's still really early, guys. I think XRP is actually behind things like Ethereum and Bitcoin because of this. However, the only reason Bitcoin and Ethereum have become so famous so quickly in these financial institutions is because they got away with it. We will talk about that in more depth later. However, I only want to show you that anyone who says these institutions won't hold XRP in the future is clearly not aware of the way this sector is going and hasn't done their research. We really found something interesting about banks and coins earlier today. That is the fact that the biggest bank in the country backed Elizabeth Warren's new Bitcoin bill. I know this is shocking on its own, but I want to take a moment to explain it in more detail because I think you might be confused. As I already said, banks today hold assets that are like XRP. Now I want to tell you that American banks are backing a bill that is against cryptocurrencies. How does that work? In reality, cryptocurrencies do help smaller banks and other financial companies, but the big banks still have all the power. So, small banks want Bitcoin to work, but big banks want to stop it. What we find in Elizabeth Warren's new bill is an unintentional statement by one of the bill's co-sponsors that the American Banking Association was one of the groups that paid for the whole thing. As a joke, I thought you might find this video funny because it shows how little this guy knows about the plan he is presenting. And I'd like you to hear the mistake he makes where he accidentally says that they talked to the American Banking Association about writing this bill. The Digital Asset Anti-Money Laundering Act, which Senator Warren and I wrote together, is a good start. I think this is another gentle touch. The first thing we did was go to the American Bank Association and ask for help writing this. Could you please let me know if you saw Senator Warren's meeting with Jamie Dimon yesterday? But Mr. I basically said that he thought cryptocurrency was just a tool for crooks. At first, it was hard to make out the name of the law, which I really like. As he does this, he takes his eyes off his notes for a moment and admits that the American Bank Association helped write the bill. For those of you who think that might have been done on purpose, please believe me when I say it wasn't, because that is currently going viral and they are getting a lot of criticism for working with an industry to write a bill that hurts an industry that competes with the industry that wrote the bill. This is pretty much the worst conflict of interest you will ever see in a bill of this kind. A lot of people have now asked me why I think this bill will pass and lead to the Bitcoin simply because I found this funny. I felt moved to share it with you. In fact, Senator Warren put forward 36 bills in the 118th Congress. In the 117th Congress, none of the bills passed, and in the 115th Congress, none of the bills passed either. 27 bills have been signed by the 114th Congress. From what we saw, she doesn't pass anything at all. That's why I don't think she will really pass this crypto bill. But I think this shows us where the real political reaction is coming from, and the most important thing we should take away from this is that it looks like the biggest banks want to ban cryptocurrency. Right now, this technology is being used by more than just small banks. To go up against the big banks, they need coins. The ones who want to stop this asset class from growing are the big banks that run the financial system and handle all payments. Hey guys, I don't think it will be impossible to take over these big organizations, but I do think it will be hard. The big banks are not as strong as they used to be. See how the market value of Bank of America stacks up against companies like Apple and Tesla. These big banks are falling behind new banks and competitors. And now, big asset managers like Charles Schwab and VanEck are getting into the cryptocurrency market with ETFs and DICE that are designed specifically for Bitcoin. At this point, only the big banks are against cryptocurrencies. Even with all the money they give to leaders, I don't think they can stop us. There is clearly a huge lack of information on the side that is against crypto. This man doesn't really understand what he's talking about. The person he is dealing with has never paid a bill in their life either. It is very important to understand that these big banking companies are up against a lot of opposition. To borrow a term from Tim Draper, you can hear the bankers freaking out. They are, however, pretty much helpless right now. They no longer have the power they used to have.